What you've got the world's most biodiverse national park, and in it you have a population of indigenous people, which makes it quite unusual because often when you have a national park, all the people are forced out of it to live along the edges of it. Well, in Manu it's different, everyone lives in it. So Manu is in Peru. Although lots of places claim to be the most biodiverse on Earth, Manu is officially the most biodiverse place on Earth. I mean, the statistics are just unbelievable. They reckon 500,000 species of insect, but they don't know because really most of them haven't been discovered yet. It's nuts. Now, this place is vast. It's 17,000 square kilometers. I mean, it's massive. And then the other thing is, once you get there, you're not allowed into most of it. I mean, it really is just shut off. And the reason is that there are uncontacted people living in there. And not only is it dangerous to encounter them, both for them firing arrows at people coming into the park, which does happen, but I suppose more of a threat is us giving them diseases. It's a highly inaccessible place. To get to the remote communities where we went, a place called Bato, it was pushing boats up Amazonian rivers. It was the sort of stuff you get excited about when you're a kid. The reality of it is it's a real pain. Bato was formed by missionaries. As it's now a sort of hub with hundreds of people living in it, it's also a place where people will form first contact, I guess. And they'll get given a name for the first time, and they'll get given t-shirts, and they'll slowly start integrating into this new, more modern society, which, from our perspective is very different to our own society, but for them it's, there's the first trappings of modernity there. I have a love-hate relationship with Manu. I spent a year there in the last 4 years, I think. It just kills me, but I can't, for some reason I keep going back there. I have no idea why. Maybe it's because I love it secretly. It's too cliche to say I want people to see this extraordinary diversity so that we don't, carry on destroying it. It's threatened by logging, they're threatening to put a road in it. The threat of what happens with an expanding population within your national park is probably currently its biggest threat. But it's their national park. That national park is the Matsigenka's national park. So it's kind of, there's, of course, indigenous people who live somewhere don't really recognise a park boundary, and why should they? You get this sort of frenzied moment with vultures when they start feeding. What I wanted to do was actually get into the carcass and see the birds interact with each other inside a carcass. The vultures, they're too smart. They could see my camera a mile off.